There are two main reasons to have a pension fund and guidelines for spending the oil and gas revenues. One is the long term, that we have a lot of wealth in oil and gas. That is something which is not only to be to the benefit of one generation, but for many generations. And by establishing the fund, we are able to make sure that the revenues are of great benefit for many generations far into the future in Norway. The second reason why it is important with a pension fund is that that's a mechanism we use to stabilize the Norwegian economy, to avoid overheating when it's danger for inflation, for overheating of the economy. But it also gives us the ability, the possibility, the means, the tools to stimulate the economy when there is danger for high unemployment, low growth, and we need the fiscal stimuluses of the economy to keep the economy growing. The main principles for the fund is that we are managing the investments in a long-term perspective, that we are seeking a good return, but at the same time acceptable risks, and that in the long term that will give us a good development of the fund. The Norwegian pension fund has been a success in the way that we have been able to manage huge oil and gas revenues in a responsible way. It has given good returns to the Norwegian society, and it has been essential when it comes to both short-term business cycle management of the Norwegian economy, but also long-term management of the revenues in a way that secures that we are going to benefit from the oil and gas revenues also far into the future. I think we all understood that the fund was going to be very important for Norway and for the Norwegian economy. And I think also we understood that it was going to be a great challenge to protect the fund and to avoid using too much money too fast. But at the same time, I think we underestimated how big the fund was going to be. And actually also perhaps we also underestimated how successful we would be in managing the fund. And I think many experts told us that it was a bit naive to believe that a democratic society and a democratic system could manage such a big cash flow in a sustainable, responsible way. But the experience so far in Norway is that we have been able to do exactly that. I think that one main reason for why there is a broad consensus in Norway related to how we are managing the oil and gas revenues, the pension fund, the fiscal rule, is that we have seen so many other countries throughout history that have not been able to manage these kind of revenues in a sustainable, responsible way. And we would very much like to avoid the same things happening in Norway as we have seen in other countries, spending too much money too fast. And that's the main reason why we have been able to establish a broad consensus in Norway.